Welcome. Today we're talking about 7 proven tips to trim your thighs, something that most of us want. Now, the first one has nothing to do with exercise, but it has a lot to do with getting results, and it's to know your thighs. A lot of us travel through movements and exercises and classes just going through the motions. So I want to give you a crash course in what your thighs are actually all about, okay? Front of your thighs are called your quads. The side are called your abductors. Your inner thighs are called your adductors. And then back here, these are your hamstrings. So it's important to know this because when you're doing certain exercises, you can direct your attention and you can direct your energy to actually squeezing and focusing on those muscles, to envisioning them getting stronger and more toned and taking on the shape that you want them to take on. Next, I want to remind you about a method called Tabata Training. This is something I did a blog post about back in May. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, head on over to DiAlto.com and search Tabata, T-A-B-A-T-A, and you'll find the article. If you're viewing this on the website right now, there's going to be a link to that article right under the post. But Tabata is just a method of high-intensity interval training that can be really effective when applied to really any type of exercise or any muscle group. So you can take lower body exercises for the thighs and for the glutes and things like that and apply the Tabata methodology. Tip number 3 is you want to burn them out, and here's what I mean by that. There are ways to spark muscle reactions, and I know a lot of you probably don't want to build a lot of muscle, but you do want to kind of give the muscle that change that it needs, or shock the body, as you always hear people saying, because if you just do the same thing all the time, your body will adapt, plateau, and all that stuff. So when you're doing something like a squat, for example, I don't even have any weights, but I'm going to show you how to get this to really, really burn. Because we all know we feel better, even mentally, when we feel the burn. In fact, a lot of my clients get really irritated if they're doing an exercise and they're not feeling the burn. I'm not feeling this. Am I supposed to? A couple ways to increase the burn are you can just slow down your pace. So if this would be your normal pace, down and up, you can slow down and make sure you're really concentrating, like we talked about, knowing your body, squeezing your glutes, squeezing your thighs, pressing your hips forward, so you could go slower. What you could also do is you could hold. You can hold in the toughest part of the exercise. So that would be like standing here for 10, 20, 30 seconds, do whatever you need to do with your arms, but this is really starting to burn here. I'm feeling this here, and then you come on up. So you can go slower, you can hold the exercise, or you can manipulate the count. You could do something like down for 2 and up for 2, down for 3 and up for 1, 1, 2, 3, up, or you could switch that around. Down for 1, up for 3, 2, 1. And you could do these in sequence. So maybe go regular pace, slow it down, hold, do a 2 count, do a down 3, up 1. You pretty much get the gist of what I'm saying. Tip number 4 is don't be afraid to fail. And here's what I mean by that. I'm not talking about like being a failure at life. I'm talking about muscle failure. And that's when you do something to the point where you have to stop. You literally can't do it anymore. And what that might take for some kind of exercises to do with the thighs are heavier weights. And I know my ladies lots of times are hesitant when it comes to using heavier weights, but we've talked about this a million times. You have to get some muscle spark going on to help you burn the fat. So grab some heavier dumbbells and go ahead and do reps until you can't do it anymore. Then you would take a rest, and then you would come back and do as many reps as you can, and maybe do something like that 3 or 4 times and create that failure, which is going to really get those muscles going and spark some growth and some fatigue and the things that you want to start burning more fat. That was tips 1 through 4. Next week, I'm going to talk about plyometric exercises. I'm going to give you a 20-minute workout that you can do on any staircase, and we'll wrap up with one really important nutrition tip That's totally key if you want to trim your thighs. So make sure you're on the list at LizDiAlto.com, and go ahead and leave a comment below the video if you have a question or if you want to post your own thigh trimming tip or talk about the post.